I got you both here, and I know y'all aren't going to like sitting next to each other that long. Oh, Oliver, you're purring so loud it sounds like snoring. Oh my goodness. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Dawn. Let's see. Let's turn the brightness up just a little here. We'll have to adjust it when the cats get down. Hi, CK. Yeah, they both jumped up here today. Hi, Laverne. Hi, Janet. Malibu's going, I've had enough of this. I don't want my brother up here. This is my spot. What's he doing up here? Oh. All right, y'all go ahead and get on down. Come on, get on down. Malibu goes, hmm. Hi, Terry, Angie, Missy. Hi, Tina. Tina coming in saying good morning to everybody. Oh my goodness, Laverne, Sista, how you doing? Yeah, I got the whole crew here. Yeah, Oliver went well, and now she's leaving too. So hi, Judio. So yeah, I hope y'all had a good weekend. We did not go up to the bookstore and out to eat with everybody. It rained all day Sunday. We woke up to pouring down rain, and none of us wanted to go out in the rain to go out and eat and drive for hours in downtown Atlanta in the rain. So we put that off. Let's see. I did get a new chair. Hubster got me a new chair for my birthday. He needed a new chair himself downstairs, so he took my other kind of pretty new, what, a year ago or something. So he took that one, and I got a new one. I'll show you a picture of it in a minute. Let's see. Hi, Kat. Let's see. Scrolling. Christina. I do try to say good morning to everybody. First thing, hi, Ellen. Let's see. So I got lots to pull through today, other than our prompts and our book and everything. Hi, Barbara, coming in a singing. uh, oh my goodness. So, hi, Ray. Vale. Hi, Vale. It might be Val, but it reads as Vale, so I call her Vale. She may be Val, but I call her Vale. Let's see. Brainy Mess. Hadn't seen you in a while. Dee Sue. Scrolling. Trying to catch everybody. First thing. Yeah, so I had both the cats up here. We'll zoom in here. Well, I don't know if we'll zoom in because I got lots to pull out and show and stuff. And this is just my little handy tray right here that I keep my pens and glue stick and my glue stick. I was going to do, speaking of glue sticks and gluing, I was going to do collage disc with new Poor Toast book today. That's what I planned last week because it said it was going to be here Friday. It didn't show up on Friday, didn't show up on Saturday. And they said, oh, well, we got to put it off till Tuesday. It's a print on demand and it's a brand new book. So I'm probably the first person that asked to have it printed. So it will be here tomorrow. So the plan is to do collage on Wednesday with my new Poor Toast book. And that he designed for me at my request. I requested this one, and I'm not going to tell y'all what it is. Y'all see it on Wednesday. Hi, me. Yeah, no fighting kids. Well, not yet anyway, Tina. They get a little fisticuffs sometimes. But yeah. Hi, View. View, I sent someone over to your channel. Someone made a comment and asked about the difference in the one of the Japanese color book, or I think it was a Japanese, it might be Korean. Anyway, one of the Asian color books. They asked me about it, and I'd only bought it on Etsy, not through Amazon, and I know you had, so I sent them over to your channel. So if you get a question about one of your books. It's because I sent them over there because I didn't buy it from Amazon, so I can't compare. And I know you had. Hi, Tori. Let's see. So I sent them over to yours, not the mother, but the father. Girl. Let's see. Say hi to. Okay, all right, me. Well, thanks for stopping in and saying hi. Appreciate it. There's Starla. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Good morning. Hi, Hard House. Put it in caps if you're talking to me. Yeah, exactly. They get the zoomies. They have a little fisticuffs. They eat, they sleep, they poop. There you go. Oh, let's see. Said hi to, let's see. I'm scrolling, seeing who I missed. Try to catch everybody. First thing, I didn't get your package mailed. Oh, that's okay, Missy. Good grief. You get better. You get better. Good grief. You went to the ER. Oh my gosh. Well, you get better, girl. You don't nobody ever worry about if you're just gonna say, I'm gonna mail you something and you don't get to it right away. That's all, I'm not sitting there with it on a time schedule. Judy said, teasing up and keeping us in suspense. Yeah, well, it's the new Poor Toast book. Yeah, I'm sure if you did a little bit of a deep dive, anybody wouldn't have to do a deep dive on Poor Toast books. You could figure it out, but it'll be a surprise on Wednesday because I'm supposed to get it tomorrow. Hi, Annette, Ambient, Beth Schuler. You'll be nice to. Oh my gosh. Well, you can see in my last video, I don't know, maybe it was in the color book one. I forget which one it was in. They asked about it. But the Googly, I think it was one of those. Anyway, it's the green cover versus the brown cover. And they didn't know how the paper was or something in the Amazon one. And I know you've done the review on it, but I couldn't remember. So I just sent them over to you. Go ask View. I know it takes a lot to get ready in the morning. I just got up and I'm already tired. Well, it does take me a little bit, but we get up pretty early. I mean, we're usually up by 4. We're usually up, sometimes 3:45 if the cats start working on us, but we're usually up by 4. So now it's 8:30. So I've been up 4.5 hours working on stuff, getting stuff ready. I do watch a little bit of, I don't overdo the news, but I watch some. And then I also do some reading and, check my mail and Instagram and stuff. So, you know, uh, by the time this rolls around, I'm ready for my lemon water because I've already had a couple cups of coffee. I don't need any more coffee. So I got my lemon water. No bananas today. So I have a Fig Newton. View and I usually have our lemon water and banana, but I'm out of bananas. I thought about cutting up an avocado, but I said no, that might get a little messy. So got my lemon water. Let's see, and don't forget Janet streams on Tina. Yeah, you and Tina and View, Team Color Boy Book Snobs. Oh my gosh, let's see. My stepmom had. Oh, is she okay? Just in time, that close call. Okay, well, I guess she's okay because you're not saying otherwise, Tina. Yeah, when y'all see people, and we don't get too much in the weeds on people's health here because I feel like it's kind of private. But if you see someone, asking for prayer or something, right? If you keep a prayer list or a positive thoughts, think about, do that, and follow each other, guys. Follow. It doesn't cost anything to follow each other, you know. Let's see. For yeah, we don't go. We're not that much of a night owl. We're not that much night owls. Yeah. Let's see. Arlene, I usually like avocado on toast or in salads, but yeah, and I don't need it as much that much. that seems like, if I don't watch my avocados, they go bad on me before I can get to them. Let's see. D has some marine her blood always off the early. So well, we Hubster's retired military, and I grew up in the military. Not that I was a night owl when I was younger. But yeah, I was a night owl when I was younger, but I'm not younger. And I guess go with the old John Wayne quote about "Get up, you're burning daylight." Hubster can do his accent, do his imitate John Wayne really well, but I'm not going to try that. Let's see. So hi to Laverne, scrolling, trying to catch everybody. Yeah, I like them with a little salt and lemon on my toast, Tina. But or in a salad. I like them in a salad, just chopped up in a salad with whatever salad dressing. So yeah, so we did not meet up yesterday with the kids. So Cameron did not come down. So he's not streaming with me today. It poured down rain all day yesterday. So, we didn't do anything. Let's see. Go for to let your No, I'm not going to do a John Wayne. I can hear it in my head, and that's how you have to start when you want to do an imitation. You have to hear it in your head. But yeah, I'm not gonna try for it this morning, Tina. Don't make me. All right, so let's see what we can get. So hi, Belinda, KD. So yeah, thanks everybody for being here. I don't have some giveaways put together. All my giveaways, all my super chat thank yous, everything has been sent out. All of it. I got it all sent out. Well, I take that back. I have 3 pieces on my table that need to go in the mailbox tomorrow because today's President's Day and the post office is closed. So there's no mail today. So, but they're ready to go. They're on my kitchen table, 3 things to go out in the morning in my mailbox. I did have to go to the post office on Saturday to get some international stamps. I know you are, Tina. I had to get some international stamps. I was out of those. So, yeah. And I try to be because I like to get a lot of things done. And you got to be a little organized and, but we get up early and we get an early start and, unless like the Hubster had a head cold last week and he was only out one day. He felt better. And but yeah, so there's sometimes there's issues, but we try to do the best we can. Let's see. Okay, I think I caught everybody so far. Appreciate everybody being here. So, what we're going to do first, we're going to pull our prompts, read our book, and the usual things. Let me get my little post-it note here to write my prompts down because, Terry likes them, whether anybody else does or not. Let me turn my computer just a little. There we go. There's a glare. Let me show you a picture of my chair. So, I got a new chair. Hubster and I put it together. It was funny, and Hubster thought it was funny too. When I said, well, it only took us an hour between, with both of us working, it only took us an hour to put it together. She goes, so are you saying it would have only taken 30 minutes if you did it by yourself? Hubster loved that. He thought that was great. But let me go to my photos here. So here it is. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit here. See. And so, yeah, here's my new chair I'm sitting in. It's brown faux leather, vinyl. It's vinyl. And it has a little footstool which folds up and tucks underneath. So right now I have the footstool tucked up underneath. So it just folds up and slides on those little rails. It just slides up underneath. But there's my new chair. So yeah, it's nice and cushy. I sit down in it and it goes it's very cushiony. It's very cool. Let's see if I can get the light there. It's very cushiony. So yeah, it does. And well, Hubster needed one downstairs and at his computer. So he took my other one, which wasn't that old. He took that one and I got this one. So it's kind of my birthday Valentine's. He did also surprise me. Now, it's hard to have flowers here because the cats, because of the cats want to play with them. I see, baby. So he did get me some flowers. There's the top looking down at them. So he got me some flowers. And then we have to put them up by, in a little nook so that the cats can't, because we'll knock them over. So, right, Malibu. Let's see. Do I have any more pictures that I don't need to show? That might be all. Um, I did take a picture because we're going to talk about how to store and organize your ephemera and fodder. Y'all have seen my build here with my pen and pencil and marker wall right here in front. Well, right over here at the end of this table, right here at the end, right there, is my crate, wood crate build. So right over on this side right here is like it goes like this. Here's my pen wall, and then this is my crate ephemera wall. And I just wanted to kind of show you another way because I'm gonna show some of this in how to store your fodder and ephemera, but a lot of it is on these shelves. So they're like wood crates. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. They're just, like, all right, here's where I have mine. I'll bring this one over in a minute. This is just a shorter one. It's a wood crate where I have my postcards you know, in process. But then I have, all these, you can see them there. They're wood crates and they're sitting on their side. They're sitting on their side. And like up here at the top, I have the small little ephemera packs lined up at the top. And I have my postcards and my, purchase postcards that I alter. And, not a whole lot of ephemera over here, not a whole lot of fodder over here, but except that top shelf where I keep these. Okay. So, but I'm going to go through all of it. One last thing, you get up at 4 a.m. Yeah. Well, Hupster's, it's funny because he's always, even on weekends, he gets up and it's sleeping in for him if he's asleep at 5. That's sleeping in for him. And that's very rarely happens. So, yeah. Let's see. Hi, Riri. Kimberly. Anybody else I missed coming in? Put it in caps if want to say anything because how Muffy. Hi, Muffy. Scrolling, just trying to see ambience. So my kitten knocked over my Valentine flowers and spent all afternoon. Yeah, see, that's what I didn't want to happen. So, even we have a nice big flower garden, 2 flower gardens in the front. Hubster takes care of the flower gardens in the front. I take care of the vegetable garden in the back. Although he does help me get it set up and dump out all the new dirt and all the stuff, and get it back there. But I'm in charge of the vegetable garden. He takes over the flowers in the front. But even with all our beautiful hydrangeas and lilies, and we can't really bring them in the house because the cats, they smell them and they think it's something to play with, So we don't cut them and bring them in very often. But he did get me those Valentine ones, so they haven't knocked him over yet. What time do I go to bed? That depends. Hopster goes to bed before me. He falls asleep before me. He'll fall asleep before me, and I'll watch some YouTube videos on my iPad. I don't know. Maybe he's probably asleep at the latest by 9. He's asleep at the very latest by 9, sometimes earlier. Me, I can be awake till I've been awake till 10 or 11, but I try not to do that because, I don't want to be tired the next day. And I like getting up early and get crack-a-lacking. Hi, Debbie. Let's see. I lost most of my, oh yeah, I bet you did, Tina. In Florida? Yeah, you get a freeze in Florida. Yeah, I hate to see our oranges and lemon prices next season. Although we get a lot of it from California too. All right, let's see. Belinda. Okay, so I want to get another sip of lemon water here. Again, put it in caps, and I still might miss you. I do go back and scrub through the chat. that night or the next day. And so if you're new, I do go follow new channels if you have content. If you don't have, if you just have a channel but no content, then I follow people that have content. Hello Fuzzy. Um, who else am I missing? We had freeze like 4 days in a row. Yeah, yeah, Tina. Only takes one. It only takes one freeze. All right, so let me go ahead first before we start going through how to organize. And I pulled a whole bunch of different things. My room. Oh, and I did. Oh, let me tell y'all this. I told it to Janet, and I don't know what there she is. Janet, what are you gonna do today? You want to tell us if you know? I mean, I have a hint at what one thing Janet's going to do today, but if she wants to say what she's going to do. Um, yeah, sometimes when I come in your late streams view, yeah, it doesn't happen a whole lot, but every now and then I'll stop and view if she's on late. And then sometimes I'll catch Pam Ginger Cat like at 4 in the morning because she's still streaming. She's on the West Coast and she streams overnight. So she's streaming at 2, it'd be 2, like 3, about 1 o'clock in the morning, her time, but she's still streaming and it's 4 o'clock. So sometimes I'd put her on in the mornings to see what's going on. But yeah. Tori, did I say hi to you? So anyway, I also got a plastic mat, the mats that go under your office chairs on top of carpet. So I got one of those because before I just had a big carpet. I just had a rug. I just had a rug under my chair, and it's really hard to roll. Now I can roll real easy, and I have to be extra careful that I don't sit on it and roll myself out. But that mat, guys, I got to tell you, and I knew it was going to came rolled up in a box, you're a standard office size mat. Excuse me, lemon water hiccups. Your standard size mat, right? Oh my gosh, we could not get that thing unrolled. I even started taking my heat tool to it. And it's real pokey on the back. It's real pokey because that sticks into the carpet so the mat doesn't move, right? Hubster got on his big gloves and was trying to roll it out. It took longer to unroll that mat than it did to put the chair together. It was horrible to unroll that mat. And then I put, books and paint and, boxes of paint. I put all kinds of things to weigh it down overnight. Oh my gosh. It was so hard to get that thing to flatten out. It's flatten out now. But oh my gosh. And plus I'm sitting on, got my chair on top of it too. But it was cray. And I'm not exaggerating. Hubster was wondering if we were going to even get it to unroll. So anyway, all right. So we got on my mat and in my new chair. Again, let me show it to y'all in case y'all missed it a couple of minutes ago. Here's my new chair. There's my new chair, and the footstool folds up and slides under. So I don't have the footstool upright. I could put it up because I have room under there. But yeah, so there's my new chair, and yeah. So I really like it. Like I said, Hubster took my other one to his computer. Hi, Dot. Who else am I missing? She said she named my chair Butts on Things. Because Janet and the Butts on Things, right? Hi, Flo. So anyway, let's see. Yes, it is. It's real cushy. Sit down. When the air goes out of the cushion when you sit on. It's really nice. Malibu likes it too. She likes it too. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the prompts and reading out of our book of unusual knowledge. I've not picked anything yet, so I'm going to have to kind of do that on the fly. I try to remember to do some of these things ahead of time, All right, Malibu, you decide you're going to move. All right, so let me go ahead and flip these up a little bit and try to get them really mixed up. because Terry doesn't like the same thing every week. So if y'all have and everybody should have some kind of sketchbook, notebook, Society of Idea Collector notebook, a comp book, a traveler's notebook, some place where you keep your ideas. And so if you have a place for prompts, write down the 5 prompts we pick every week. And that way, when you get stuck for something to combine, then you can go to your prompt list. So we've been doing this for some years. And I have over 300 in here, so it's like you're not rarely getting the same one, let alone the same combination, right? All right, so let's move that over there, and I'll write them down. Today is the 16th, and I pick 5, and yeah. So sister's raising her hand. Are you waving at somebody, sister? Just going, hey girl, hey. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we go. Terry or anybody. I just pick them. I pick a little stack and then I take 5 off the top. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. Sky, camel. Now she just had camel. I'm going to pick 6 today because that will give you a little extra something because we just had camel. And rather than taking it out, I'll just add 6. Tombstone, fish, apathy, and sun. There we go. So we got 4. We got 6. So we have sky, sun, camel, fish, tombstone, and apathy. So there's our prompts. And if y'all have not seen Terry, and I'll find her Instagram here in a minute. If you've not seen Terry do these, she's on it. Now she is in the process of moving, so she may have to miss some time. But yeah, she goes, interesting. But she's so good about doing them, and I always tell her never feel pressured like you have to do them or anything. But it's always nice when she does. All right, let's see if I can bring this up. Let's see. Let's look for Terry. Terry Brett 3. Okay, so here's last week. I think this was last week's. 5 days ago. Yeah. So this would have been last week's prompts. Kimono, cathedral, eel, desert world, and crow. And so go follow Terry Brett. Let's see, there she is. Terry Brett 3, and go look at some of her prompts pages that she's done. She's so good at them. She really is good at them. So there you go. That's this week. So I think I should zoom it. Let's zoom in 1 for a minute. We can always zoom back out. There we go. And it looks a little bright. Let's turn the brightness down just a little. There we go. Maybe about there. Okay, there we go. All right. So there's our prompts, and I keep them I keep them all together. So next, let's go ahead and look at the Book of Unusual Knowledge, which Laverne gave us this year for this year's readings. And let's see. Arlene says, I love the prompts. I don't draw, but the most always inspire me to do a mixed media piece or a card or a doll. Yeah. Well, that's, you do whatever you want with them. That's the whole idea with the prompts. It can be a mixed media, it can be a collage, it can be a combo, it can be drawing. Let's see. Rahi, hello. That's not, okay. I sometimes, some of y'all change your names or have the names changed by YouTube. So I want to make sure I got the right people here. And speaking, South thought maybe Rahi was Raul, but I don't think it is. And if has anybody seen Raul lately posting any shorts or anything? I know he was doing some health spa things. So I hope Raul, I haven't seen him for a month of Sundays. So I hope he's doing okay. Let's see, who else am I missing here? So welcome, everybody. Hi, Tina Art. Good to see you. Let me get another sip of my lemon water here. It can be anything, ambient. It can be drawing, painting, collaging, mixed media. It can be anything. It's just for your inspiration. It's for your inspiration. Oh, thanks, Kat. Kat put in a link to this book. Now the book is from 2012. And and I've read all the different contents before. I think we did some out of art and literature the first couple of weeks, and then we did one out of movies and television. So let's continue in movies and television. Let's just see here. Behind the films of our times. Let's see. Behind the TV shows. We did that one, I think, last week. Queen of Soaps. I never really got into soap operas very much. The only soap opera I ever watched really was Young and the Restless. I watched the debut of that when it first came out in 1972. I think it came out. And I watched it a little bit, but I was working, so I never got to really watch many soap operas. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's read some Hollywood's urban legends. Okay, let's go back over here so I can Hollywood urban legend. And I don't read them all. I just pick a couple things out just to have something kind of fun to, dwell on. Here's Humphrey Bogart. Humphrey Bogart was the Gerber baby. Now, I have heard this before. I don't read ahead, guys. I try to find something ahead of time, like pick something, but I don't really. I might scan it just to make sure it's, we don't want we want to keep it family friendly. But anyway, Humphrey Bogart was the Gerber baby, and I can kind of read ahead as I'm reading because that's how I read. I read really fast, but not out loud. I'm not going to read it real fast out loud. Everyone knows the famous black and white drawing of the baby that graces Gerber baby food products. Well, there's an urban legend that the baby is none other than actor Humphrey Bogart. This rumor may stem from the fact that Bogart's mother, Maud, was an illustrator who actually did sell drawings of her son to advertising agencies. In fact, she did allow one of her drawings of Humphrey to be used in a baby food advertisement for Mellon's baby food. Gerber did not start producing baby food in 1928, and by that time, Bogart was 29 years old, making it unlikely, but not impossible, that he was the Gerber baby. We know that the Ann Turner Cook, we now know that Ann Turner Cook was the model. In 1928, she was drawn by artist Dorothy Hope Smith, who submitted the drawing to Gerber. So that's, he was in other advertisements, but probably not, the Gerber. Let's see. Hi, Lisa W. Put it in caps, guys, so I can check. I'll glance over to see what's in caps. But I still can miss y'all, especially like if I'm reading. 3 Men and a Baby and a Ghost. Y'all want me to read about 3 Men and a Baby? And I don't want to read about Munchkins dying. All right, we'll just read this one then. We'll read this one and we'll read this one. Okay. 3 Men and a Baby and a Ghost. There's a scene in the movie 3 Men and a Baby, 1987, in which Ted Danson's character Jack and his mother are walking through Jack's house while the mother is holding the baby. And I don't remember I've seen the movie, but I probably saw it in 1987, so I don't remember it. As they walk in front of a window, the ghostly image of a boy is seen standing in the background. When the characters walk by the window a second time, the boy has been replaced by what appears to be a shotgun. Legend has it that the ghost is that of a boy who accidentally, and that house is where the movie was filmed. Of course, the truth is a little less spooky. What many people mistake for the boy's apparition is nothing more than a cardboard cutout of Danson, which was supposed to be part of a subplot involving Jack's appearance in a dog food commercial. And those scenes weren't filmed in the house either. They all took place in a studio in Toronto. Well, there you go. I don't remember seeing. I don't even remember the movie, so I'm not going to remember something reflected in a window. All right. So anyway, we'll probably go into another topic next. Um, maybe all about animals, maybe next week. But I just like it because it's just I like trivia. I like trivia. Let's see, Angie. Who else? Mm, mm. See, Tina knows about that. All right. So let me put this up on my back on the shelf. This has its own spot on a shelf up here. Got to reach up there and put it up there. All right. So what do I want to? How do I want to start this? All right. So I showed y'all my build over there with all my sideways crates. They're about this size or a little bit bigger, and I put them on their side. I put them on their side to store. Let's see, here we go. I put them on their sides to store postcard blanks, postcards that are purchase postcards that I want to alter. And then I have, here's my, and I'll show this in a minute. This is a whole row of these set up there. So they're some of the smaller I don't want to say my most used, but they're very frequently used. These in these packs here are a lot of my frequently used. So I'm going to just show y'all different ways. Now, I'm a collage artist, so I do lots and lots of collage, as y'all know. So when you see all these different ways to store ephemera, collage fodder, don't think you have to do all these things. You have to pick which ones work for you. When I first started doing my collage fodder collecting, organizing, I started out with one of those. Well, here, I'll just take a picture because now it's one of my toolboxes. Let me just lean back here and take a quick picture. You'll know what I'm talking about. One of these, like this right here. I have this right over here to my right next to my door. And this is how I used to store my collage fodder in drawers like this. Now this is my tools and extra pens and other things. No collage in any of this. But this is how I used to store it. And I would notate, I'd put a sticker on them and say like people, flowers, plants, cities or buildings, and space, planets, and I had them all labeled. And I just found myself, it was exhausting for me. Now, again, if you don't do collage all the time, something like that may just be perfect for you. Just to have all those drawers, that you just go pull out the buildings, pull out the collage, pull out the people, the faces, the Timmy people, whatever. And it may work for you. It didn't work for me because I had started getting so much of it. So then I said, you know what? I want to be a little bit more carefree. Well, I was for a while. So I got those big tubs, those big plastic tubs that are about, I don't know, what, 18 inches tall, about 2 feet. I'm looking over at one, about 2 feet wide, about 18 inches tall. And I literally dumped all those drawers in the tub, just dumped them all in there, the whole thing, all my collage fodder at that time, a few years ago, all my collage fodder was in one of those big 18-inch deep, 2 foot wide, maybe 18-inch, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about, those big tubs, like you store your Christmas ornaments in. And I just took all those drawers and went, dump, dumped all the fodder into that big collage, into one big collage tub. And I worked out of it for a while. And then I said, well, I'm getting a little bit more specific. Like I want to do more of my space things and I want to do more, more thematic things. And it was getting harder and harder to dig through that. I wasn't just doing random collages. I was trying to be a little bit more specific in my collaging. And rather than just picking things out and going to town and making these collages, which I still do that. I still do that. Don't get me wrong, but not in the same way as just digging through a tub. So I said, well, you know what I need to do? I need to figure this out. That's when I decided, and that was also before I had all the collage soup books, pour toast books. Like this is how I store my books now. I had pulled one to show here. Well, I actually pulled a couple here. So now I store my collage books in these, these snaps like this, where they snap shut. This one's got a whole bunch. There's like 4 in here, so this one won't shut. So I just have it kind of tucked in like this. But this is how I store my collage books and ephemera books, is in these plastic sleeves. You can get them on Amazon. They're not expensive. I think you can get 25 of them for $10. They're not. Well, there you go. I don't know which one Kat picked, and there's a few different ones. But so you just, you can store your collage books in this. But before I started buying Collage Soup and Pour Toast and others collage books, I've had some of these sleeves and I started sorting my collage. In those. For instance, here are some like the handmade papers. I have a few of them for my jelly plated papers. This one just happens to be a lot of the handmade papers that I've got that I've cut up and used. And like here's some of that Frida paper. There's just a random watch in there, but yeah. But anyway, so I started storing my collage fodder in these, and then in another long tub, in another one of those tubs, plastic tubs, but just one that's just like, I'm looking over at it. It's about 6 inches tall. It's about 6 inches tall, but it's still the same size as the big one, tall one. It's just squattier. I could put these in it like this, in the tub. Well, here, I'll take a picture. Hang on. So I have 2 different ones of these. And now y'all got to remember, let me move this little chair here. Y'all have to remember, I use a lot of collage and do a lot of collage. So let's see if I can do it at a side. Here we go. At an angle. Okay. Crop this down. So I have 2 tubs right behind, well, kind of over in the corner. Let's see if I can turn this. Wait, let's see. Done. Let's turn it on its side. Okay. So here's the 2 tubs that I have. This one has got more, they're not really lined up. They're kind of piled in there. This is the ones that are stacked up kind of neatly side by side. So this is how I store loose stuff like this. I have a whole nother place for my collage books. I can't get a picture of it right now because the stuff I'm going to show y'all is blocking it right now. But those 2 tubs is what I store the random papers in. And I also have them thematically done as well. Like, for instance, when we did the Valentine's. So this is all Valentine's stuff in here. So it stays Valentine. I have a couple of Christmas ones. I have ocean, fish, animals. I have them thematically done. And by the way, this it took me a hot minute to go through those big tubs that are 18 inches deep, paper piece by piece by piece, and reorganize them into this. That was a job. I'm just saying. So don't dump all your collage fodder in a big tub if you're not willing to at some point go back through it and separate it all out. Tori. I have actually helped organize one of my, this was years ago, it was before I started streaming, but I helped one of my scrapbook friends organize her scrapbook room, not over Zoom, over the phone, just talking on the phone. I helped her reorganize her scrapbook room over the phone, piece by piece. I'm going to tell y'all the secret to an organized craft space, art space. The secret, and I'm convinced of this. I'm totally convinced of this. Like with like, paper with paper, ink with ink, pens with pens, paint with paint, journals with journals, books with books. I'm telling y'all, the secret to an organized space, art space, craft space is like with like. However you want to do that, bins, packs, however you want to do it, like with like. You can write that down. You can make a poster of it. Anyway, so here's all my Valentine stuff. So anyway, so these are all kind of stacked up in my bins behind me. Now I'm going to be honest. I have more bins in the garage that I need to go through. I've gone through them a couple times and given some to Denise's friends and stuff like that. And I've tried to I've tried to, sell packs of collage fodder, and, it doesn't work out. I told y'all about my one foray into selling collage packs. And this was, again, way before I started streaming. So it was probably about 20 years ago. I had a little Etsy, and I was selling little baggies of collage fodder. I was selling little baggies of collage fodder for $5. About maybe about, I don't know, not this much stuff in it. Maybe about half, and I was selling it by color. I had green packs, red packs, blue packs, purple packs. I just had then they were just in baggies. And this was back when I had a 35 millimeter camera. So I'd lay things out, took pictures, took the SD card out, loaded up to the computer, edited, adjusted, fixed all the pictures, uploaded them one by one to Etsy. All that for $5 a pack, plus $1 shipping, I think is how I did it. So for $6, all that work. And then, this is the day, I think this is the day I quit selling on Etsy. I got a message and said, what's that one little red thing? Or can you tell me how many red this or that in the red pack or blue, whatever it was? Can you tell me what that is right there? And how many of those are in there? How many exact pieces? I said, that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. Ain't worth it for $5. So I don't sell packs. I give them away. I give collage little, envelopes away, I'm out of the selling business. I'm out of the selling business. Okay, so Arlene says, if y'all have tips, go ahead and put them in caps, and I'll try to click on them as y'all mention them. My craft room is like that, with like, except for the card stock that's specifically for cards, because I'm forgetful what kind of, yeah. Well, yeah, you have a specific purpose for that, but you still have the like with like in the card stock. My card stock is right. Y'all see my build right here. My build of pens, markers, and my little paints are right here, right? Y'all seen this. It's right in front of me where I can just reach and grab and work. But behind that are 1, 2, 3 6-foot shelves that are behind it that I can't get to. So it's a lot of stuff that I don't really use because it's behind this. I need to eventually take down my build here and get back. But I've done it a couple of times, taken the whole build down, got behind there, reorganizing some things I have stored and stocked back there. But it's a lot of work to take down here. Let me show you. I know I've shown y'all before. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. Since we're talking about organizing, let me take a quick picture here. Let's see if I can get it all in here. And so behind there, from back in my scrapbooking days, I have those magazine holders, Arlene, the magazine holders that you put your 12 by 12 paper in, cardstock. Those are behind there. So I really can't, I mean, they're all the way at the end. I could slide slides. I could do a Jenga, or one of those little slidey thingies and get it out. But I don't really use a lot of just solid cardstock anymore. And then all my scrapbook papers are under here, and there's a whole row of them, which I got rid of 2 feet of scrapbook papers a couple of months ago when Denise was down, and she sold them on Facebook Marketplace. I just let her have the money, but she sold 2 feet of my scrapbook papers on Facebook Marketplace, and they were thrilled to get it. So, which made me happy. All right, so here, right here in my desk, right in front of my desk, see if I can do this, is this. This is my pen marker paint build. I built this out of little mini crates, foam core and packing tape, and some of these little, come on, why is it clicking on for me? It's not wanting to let me click on it. Hang on, let me try again. Let me try to get refresh my phone here. Hang on. See if I can get it here. Okay. Up here at the top are a couple like cases, pencil cases turned on their side. But all my markers, and there's the alcohol markers, water-based markers, regular pens and markers. This is all in front of me. Behind this, though, is 3. See that white shelf? There's 3 of those behind there. So, but y'all have to also remember, I've been in this room over 25 years. This has been my studio for over 25 years. I've rearranged it. I've got it working. It's a fully functioning studio. All right. So anyway, so the plastic bins, it would be my number one way of telling you if you don't have a lot of fodder, or if you don't do collage professionally, and you don't have a lot of ephemera, but if you do collect the collage soup, or any kind of the collage ephemera books, I'll tell you why I recommend putting them in these plastic sleeves. And that's because once you start cutting them up and tearing them out and they're falling out, you can't, if you just put this on a shelf or something and you go to pick this up, this is what's going to happen. So I would just so recommend, keeping them in these plastic sleeves like this. This saved my mind many times, having them in here. Hi, Keeks. Let's see, who else am I missing? Brooke with an E. Let's see. Put it in caps, guys, if you want to talk about your organizing tips and things. All right. So, and again, then I have over in the bins. Now, those books, the books that I have, they're lined up under one table, and then they're on a shelf. I'll take another picture in a little bit. So anyway, but I store them by theme, like Christmas, Halloween, fall, Valentine's Day. These are not the books. These are just the ephemera. Like we used all these Valentine's Days in the last couple of streams where I made y'all little collage kits. Then I store them like this, and they go back in their little lineup. They go back in their little lineup till next year. Okay, so there's that. And again, also, if you have jelly plate papers, these are my, these kind of papers that I get like at Blick and Paper Source and that kind of thing. They're just cut up, folded up, put in here. And then, they come up, they're rolled up. You buy them and you roll them up. They're sheets, big poster size sheets. And I cut them up and use them. And then this is what's left over. The same thing, you can do this with your jelly plated papers, is keep them in these plastic. I'm just telling you, it contains things. If you want your fodder contained, let's see, Chrissy and I have given away masses of, let's see, hang on, masses of crafting stuff we parted with while packing. The people took it, were so pleased with it. Yeah. And, I don't mind. And I've shared with Denise and she's shared with other people because I'm not out there in that crafting world anymore. I don't go to crops and art retreats or anything like that. And I'm going to be honest, guys, and I guess it's ever since the virus. Old folks' homes, they don't want your stuff. They don't want your crap. I'm just telling you. Schools say we don't have time for all that art and craft stuff. We don't have time for it. Teachers go, we can't use it. We don't have time for that. And old folks, and I understand, especially the old people. And I say old folks' home in good faith. I mean, I'm not meaning it in any kind of derogatory way. Retirement homes, if you want. They don't want it because they don't want germs, and that goes at least back to the virus, 5, 6 years ago. So I understand that. But so you just can't, you can put it on Facebook Marketplace and sell it. That's the best I can figure out. And that's what Denise has done with some of my, a whole bin full, 2 feet of scrapbook paper. And I still have, let me look under there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have 10 or 12 feet of scrapbook paper because I used to be on all these design teams, and I've shown y'all some. I still get under there and pull it out. And Samantha, when she does projects, she knows right where the different papers are under this table right here. Under this table in the very back is a whole 12 feet of paper. And Samantha knows right where to go to get whatever she wants. So, yeah, see, yeah, I know. And it's kind of sad, but I can understand why they think that way. Right, Arlene? But yeah, a lot of it's because of germs, Flo. Ever since the virus, people don't want your stuff. Although I never really thought about it much when I was crafting and getting happy mail and giving happy mail, so, but I can understand how people would think that way. Okay. So then I have, like I said, up here on my wood turned sideways crates, I have at the top a whole row of this kind of stuff. This is some of my most used stuff. And again, this is just like those other packs. Velcro alert, Velcro alert, geek, geek, geek. This is where I can, store like my Tim Holtz little things or stuff that's very, very specific and tiny. Although I'm going to show y'all a couple other ways to do this. I got my ways, people. I got my ways. I'm going to show you all my ways. The way. I'm going to show you the way. If y'all watch Mandalorian. Anyway. So there's these, that are up on the top, set up. They're probably about maybe 25 of these, maybe up there. And I just kind of flip through them and look at what I might want, like the Timmy people, and then that way I can get right to these rather than going into the bigger packs. Okay. Also up on my build are things like these sticker pack kind of things, like stuff like this. These kind of things. Now I have my stickers are in a whole nother my sticker books, I should say. My sticker books are over here under my pencils, under my pencil pouch, not pouches, what do you call them? Pencil zips. I have my books. So that's another thing that you can use for if you don't like a lot of fodder around, you don't want a ton of collage fodder around, you could invest in a couple of sticker books, depending on how much you do, how much collaging, postcard making, art card making, how much of it you do. You could get some sticker books and then everything's really contained. Everything's really contained in a book. Right. So this is another way to store your fodder is just have some sticker books that you may want to, and that's the same thing with your the collage books. There are collage books and we pulled these out. This is one of the older ones that and I say everybody has, but everybody that does collage knows about this book. Everybody's got this book, but you could always, just get some extraordinary things that have multiple different things in it. I mean, has a little bit of everything. So if you're just starting off in collage and you don't know where am I going to get all this stuff and all the variety, I mean, you can, hunt down magazines, and that's part of the fun is the hunt. But you can also start with something like this or a sticker book or something like that. This is a way to start collaging or mixed media cards and that sort of thing. Let me put this back over there. And this is a way to have it contained. Pencil case. Thank you. Pencil zips. I couldn't think of pencil case. Y'all got to remember how many things I'm trying to think ahead here. How many ways to do this kind of thing? I'm thinking ahead. So if I skip a word here or there. Okay, so these are little things that you can get off of Amazon. I'm sure other places too. I don't do Temu. I don't do TikTok. I do Amazon, and that's pretty much about it. But you can get these little kind of sticker books. Like this was a set of the seasons. Like here's the fall one, and these are the clear ones, and I like them because they don't have an edge, but at the same time you have to realize that this one's not shiny, these aren't shiny, sometimes they're shiny. Denise does not like shiny stickers. I don't really care because most of the time I'm slapping on matte medium to glue things down, and then I'll put, if it's really something that I want to keep or really or send out or something, I'll varnish it. So shiny anyway. So anyway, these are like, this is the little fall ones. And then here is spring. So we got all the green and flowers. And then winter. And this was just a little set. Oh, no, I don't know if it came in a set. I might have come in a set. I don't remember because I don't remember if it came in a set or I'm pretty sure it was a set. And then here is summer. So, and anyway, they're stickers. So these kind of things, let me get a sip of my lemon water. Hang on. These kind of things also go up on my crate build along with postcards and things that I might want to use in some kind of collage. Like here's my science fiction postcards. It's a set of postcards that are based on science fiction. So if I want to alter some of those, or like my Pantone postcards or anything like, they're on that build right there. It's very contained. Same thing like this. This fits nicely up on the wood crate build. And then right here in front, let's see if I can put that right there. Right here in front of the crate build, which has more postcards behind it, these are my postcards that are in progress. So it's just a crate, and these are all in different progress. So I would sometimes say, I don't know what to do. I'll just come in here and I'll pick a couple like this and I'll work on them. And I've done the same thing with y'all. Here's some from Halloween. They're all in different stages. And, I'll work on them. I'll give them away. I'll just play with them. And if I finish them, then they'll go in, and I want to keep them. They'll go in my postcard 3-ring binder. I'm not pulling that out right now, but just so you know, or I'm reminding that my finished postcards have their own 3-ring binder. Okay. As do my art cards, 3-ring binders. ATCs, I really don't do ATCs anymore, but I've got 4 huge binders of ATCs. I'm not pulling those out today either, but anyway. I really want to talk more about the organizing rather than the actual things that are in them, if that makes sense. I'm trying to make you organized, Dot, not spend money. Get your stuff, get all your stuff together. So again, different kind of sticker books. Sticker books are always good for collaging, and I have mine right over here next underneath my pencil cases. Thank you, Tori. My pencil cases are on one of those other kind of Michael's carts, the kind that it's a silver, have some drawers in the bottom, and then it has 2 shelves. And so all my pencils are on one top shelf piled high. There's my pencil cases, and then under the pencil cases are my stickers in a row. And then in those little drawers are paints that I I use occasionally. I don't, because most of the time I'm using my paints, guys. Most of the paint I use is craft paint. Okay, but I do have quite a bit of other paint, but it doesn't, like I just got the Nick Pro, the 2 boxes of Nick Pro, the pastels and the not fluorescent, metallic, that we swatched, around Christmas time. So, okay, let me look and see if anybody's got any questions. Thank you, Tina. All right, so let's see here, guys. Looking to see. And Kat's putting in all kinds of links, so y'all can blame her for enabling. Just kidding, y'all. We so appreciate Kat putting in links, because people ask me all the time, "Well, what about this? What about this?" And I said, "Kat put a link. Kat put a link." And Tina does too, but it's mostly Kat's just quick. Kat's just fast at it. So, okay, so these little packs like this are really handy. I would recommend these if you just like to collect the little Tim holes or these little tiny packs of ephemera. I have one of these for postage stamps. I actually have one of the big ones with postage stamps, but I also have a small one with postage stamps that's right handy. So it's right there. If that gets low, I'll go to the big pack of this and pull a handful of cancel postage out and put it back in to fill it up again, and have it handy, because these are all my really handy ones that are right up there. I don't have to do a lot of digging. These are pretty organized, although you can also do other ways of organizing. All right, let me just stick these back up here so I remember that I've shown all these. Okay, so those go back up on the shelf. The other thing that's up on the crate are things like these, like my Tim Holtz Word Fetty, this kind of thing. These are right up there too, because I use these quite often. And so there, I keep those handy, along with blank postcards. Those are right handy. So yeah. All right, let's see now. What else is over here that I haven't talked about? I think I talked about all this over here. All right, I did make a little list. Then, notebook. Oh, wait, let me show you one more way and I did this just because we're doing this just recently, is I want to work in this book is going to be my Tandy Art journal. And all I've done so far is the cover. We just did this last week, and Debbie bought me a Tandy Art book 5, and I had book 1. So all this is in one place, along with the journal I'm working on. So see, like with like. So when I want to work on this journal, it's all right here. Not that I can't add other things, but I know that this is contained in this project. So these are also good for projects. So if you think I'm overwhelmed with so many projects, this is over here, this is over there. If they'll fit in a sleeve like this, get your projects together. And I know you can get bigger ones than these two. I think they come in 12 by 12. It's just, I like this size. They're 12 by 8.5 or 9 by 12, I think. And they just work they're just so handy to keep everything contained and organized. So this is the Tandy Arts journal I'm working on. All I have to do is pick this up and I can work on this journal. So there's that. The other thing that sometimes, and I have in my I have a whole nother thing of fabric system and that's in the closet. But I keep some packs of fabric out and lace. So I have a lace one, a fabric one. This is a mixed bag of stuff, so that when I'm doing mixed media or doing the little giveaways and stuff like that, I have, it's handy. And then, like I said, when this starts getting low or not that much stuff in it, I'll go to the closet, get some more stuff out, put it in here, so it's all handy. All right, so it's just a bag. This is just an oversized, baggie. All right, so there's that. Then, let's see, let's put this over here. And, okay, I showed you the books in the sleeves. All right, this is a couple of different kind of trays you could use. Silverware trays, like I use silverware trays for my leftover Prismacolor pencils when I don't want to pull out a case. Thank you, Tori. A pencil zip when I don't want to pull out a pencil case. I keep, I have random Prismacolors in a silverware tray. Well, you can do the same thing, a silverware tray or any kind. Just pull this one off the shelf. Again, I don't do a lot. Well, I don't really do any artist trading cards, ATCs. I do art cards, which are 3x4, as opposed to ATCs, which are 2.5x3.5. But this is another, these little trays like this, silverware trays, office. This one I think is an office desk tray, office desk trays. Let me show you that. I've got three of these art cards. This one's art cards. I have another artist trading card ones, which I really don't use, but these are 3x4. So, and they're in these office trays. So again, just like my postcards where I can pick out and pull out, if I want to make some art cards, I can just pull a stack out, work on these. They're all nice and contained, like with like. So if you just do a minimal amount of art cards, postcards, ATCs, then these office trays are good. So I have some cut up, ready to go. I even have some inchies, which I don't do anymore. But so anyway, trays like this are really good for storing fodder and organizing things like trading cards and postcards. And then, have this one where I've got, the little coin envelopes, playing cards, more playing cards, different little projects I got, partially done that we've done on stream. The little taking the file folders and making the little pocket file folder things out of a file folder, I should say. So, that kind of thing. So there's a couple of those, and I got one with tags and other playing cards and another one that's just got them all cut up, ready to go. So they're all ready to go. So when I want to make something, I don't have to work too hard at getting ready to make something. All right, then let's see what else now. What's next in here? Okay. Oh, here's one more little tray. You can also do these little or, just kind of like this kind of tray. These little these little things. These are good if you just do a little bit of collage, a little bit of mix. We got 2 napkins in here, some tissue paper, a bingo card. I have a few things in here that are just handy. So if I just want to do a quick little something, and I know what's in here. So, I can reach for this. So it's just something little and handy. And I think this is all the napkins I have anymore. I gave all my napkins away, except for I might have a few more tucked away. But anyway, so you could just do something like this and have it on your desk. Speaking of desk, if you just have a minimal amount of stuff, or if you're working on collages or postcards, mixed media, or any of the stuff, keep you a desk journal. This is one of, I can't tell you how many of these we've had over the years, but a little desk journal that you have handy where when you've finished a project, a card, a postcard, a collage, a big collage, you can use this to scrape off paint and just glue down. Let's see, it's a little flashed out. Let's turn the brightness down a little. A little book where you can just put leftover collage bits, scrape leftover. If you have a palette of acrylic paint, you can pick it up with a palette knife and scrape, or a brush, paint it on there, and just keep a little desk journal. So this is like the final fodder. The final fodder. This is where fodder goes to die. This is the final fodder, is this, right? And same thing for paint, leftover paint on your palettes. Okay, but keeping a desk journal It doesn't have to be this. It can be any size you want, but I recommend something small because then it's not in your way. It's handy. You can open it up, scrape some paint it, let it dry. Don't close it on wet paint or you'll glue your pages together. But then you can, it's a little color inspiration. You can go back and add more stuff to it or just think of the color combination. Like here's orange and blue gray and yellow ochre, those colors right there. Love those colors, so you just got leftover stuff. Stamping, if you stamp, whatever, just a little leftover. So I could just call these desk journals, and I just keep one handy. Yes, rest in peace, Fodder. Yes, View. The final fodder. Yes. So there's that. Okay. Now, again, if you don't do a lot of collage or just a minimal amount or make some art cards every now and then, something like this. I started with this kind of this. I didn't start with a room. I started with a bin. Actually, my very first art studio was one of those boards, the big wood boards that have, particle board that had the clips on it made to put your sketchbook under. That tucked under a windowsill, and I sat on the floor. That was my first art desk with pencils and sketchbook. That was it, So, and here we are 60 years later. Okay, so there's that. Okay. All right, then notebooks. Oh wait, no, one more box. This is the only box of, if I'm not throwing, because sometimes you're doing a whole lot of things and your desk journal has to sit and dry, or you can't move along too fast in your desk journal. So when I have other things left over, I keep one box like this, because all my other fodder is organized by theme in those plastic envelopes and put in bins and organized, or they're in collage soup type books in the plastic sleeve. Everything is very organized. So, but when I have little stuff left over, I have put in my time, Tina, but I have one box, and this box is pretty big. I'm not sure how big it is. Let's see here. Where's my This is, let me get the side of the ruler I can see it's a plastic ruler, so I've got to turn it to see so this box here is 14 and a half by, how deep is this? About 4 inches deep. It's about 4 inches deep, 14 by, what is this? 10 by 14. So it's a good size box. But this is the only box that I have this kind of thing. This. Okay. This one box, if this gets full, I don't even know how this got here when we did some of those. Oh, I think because I wanted to keep some of the tracing paper that we used to do this. A little bit of, but anyway, this box is the only box of this thing I have. Everything else is in snapped envelopes, mostly by theme. Okay. But, so just whatever, I got a little bit of this left over. I just got all kinds of little, pieces of envelope, pieces of, just one little leftover something. And I just, don't feel like storing it back in the exact envelope that's supposed to go in. That goes in here. This is it. One box of this kind of thing. This is the official junk drawer. That's it, Kat. I have one junk drawer. You look around my room and you go, yeah. But seriously, that is, and I could pull anything out of here I could pull one little thing out of here, and this could go in my desk journal, and I could work something up with the desk journal. But anyway, so I keep this right up under here handy, so I can just reach for it. I can either reach for it or reach under and just open it up and throw stuff in. Okay, so there's that. All right, then the binders. Let me start with this one because this is a binder that I've had for a while and I don't really use it anymore, but I pulled it to show y'all. So it's a hot mess. It's not as organized and neat as I like it to be because I really don't use it. Okay, I really don't use this anymore. It's an old Technique Tuesday stamp binder. Okay, the Technique Tuesday used to be an acrylic stamp company, and I don't use it for that. All my stamps, y'all seen. If you want to see how I store my stamps, I can show that to you too. Although it doesn't really fall under the ephemera fodder category, I can show you how I store my stamps again. It's easy to do. It's right behind me. Everything's handy. That's one of the things about my room. I don't like. I mean, other than my tool drawers, I have two of those little towers, Michael's tower things over there for tools and extra pens and paper clips and that kind of thing. Hi, Devin. But all my shelves in here are open. I mean, you walk in here and you go, oh my gosh, but it's because I like to see what I have so I don't forget what I have. If it's in a shelf, in a drawer, locked away, closed cabinets, you know, I'm not going to remember I have it and I'm not going to use it. What did she say? Giggling as I do. There you go, but that's all right, Arlene. You're making cards. You probably have your card making, stuff. So anyway, this is my die cut from my Cameo silhouette, which I don't use anymore. I should. Same thing for the hand cranking, embossing, cutting machine. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That embosses with embossing plates, and it also cuts with cutting plates. And then I have the Cameo silhouette, which since I got my new computer, I've not even tried to upload on download the software. I haven't done any of it. But this is my leftovers, and I still pull from it every now and then. You want to see some stamp? All right, let me make a note, Laverne. Show stamps. I'll do that after I finish this. Show stamps. How I organize my stamps. Okay, so this is my leftover from Cameo silhouette and die cutting, which I do not do anymore. But I have pulled, I pulled this right here. I pulled this when I to work out of the sketchbook thing at the first of the year. I pulled these hands, But this is all stuff that I've cut on the Cameo silhouette. And like here, I love this earth, this world. Is that family? Yeah, it's family. So I just have this leftover world that I used as a stencil. Got different stencils. Here's some angel wings. Here's some more of the reverse, And I've had this. This was before I started streaming, or at the very beginning of starting to stream. So this stuff right here is probably 12 to 15 years worth of stuff that I really don't use anymore because I don't get out the Cameo. I mean, I've got out the Cameo silhouette before on stream, but 12, 15 years ago is when I really was using a lot of die cuts and stencils. I still use stencils. I have one bin of stencils, one like plastic tub thing that I flip through. I'll show you that in a minute, just to show y'all how I store stuff. So this can be fodder, this could be cut up, this could be used as stencils. I just don't really get to it because I have so many other things that I use other than this stuff now. But I still have, I still have it, the Cameo. It's all, I bought the software. It's in there somewhere. So here's some leftover fat. These are the negative spaces. And then here's like a giant earth. Look at that. Look at the detail that you could get on the Cameo silhouette. Look at that. Isn't that amazing that you could cut something like that from your house? Here's some arrows, another earth. So anyway, I don't know how much of this you want to see. Then here's just, okay, then I have some of it like stored in individual folders, like here, like see, like this, to keep it more contained, some wings. So it's just got all kinds of leaves. Here's a vintage typewriter. And then I've cut out in black. And then look, I love these. These little coffee pots. These are cute. I think I'll do a give. Let's put some of these in the giveaway. I got 4 of them, I think. We could do a giveaway. I'll do 2 US, 2 international. We'll do a giveaway with some of this. Let's see what else I can find in here for giveaways. We'll do a cutout. I only got like 1 or 2 wings though. And they're not that organized. I mean, they're sort of organized in here. Oh, here's some coffee cups. Let's see if I can find some more of those coffee cups. What else can we find in here? There's some leaves. That'll take me a minute to separate. Let's see if I can find some more coffee cups in one of these folders for a giveaway today. Yeah, they're stems, and they're all cut out with the cameo silhouette. Okay, oh, here we go. What do we got in here? There's a bird, a little birdie told me, but it's like messed up. Some of these are kind of messed up. But I still keep them because I can use bits and pieces of them, right? So this is just a piece of doily right there. Okay, so there's that that folder. Uh-oh. And you could cut out letters. You could do anything on that baby. All right, let's see what's in this one. To go this way. Not sure. And this is one amazed me when I purchased it and cut my first tree rings out of this. Look at this. Look at that. Tree rings. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I was so amazed at this machine. Oh, come on. Let's get back to, there we go. Let's see what else we got in here. And I paint them, I'd jelly plate them and, do different things with them. Some jelly plated leaves. Here's another, couple. I'll just pull a few things out and we'll just somehow do it. We'll put together a giveaway here after a while. Some different, I have a whole skeleton. Some more leaves. What else is in here? But you can see it's all contained. Then I cut some out and I layered them up with some magazine images. Here's some feathers and pieces. There's a shoe. We'll pull the shoe. Another little leaf there. Here's where I added some glitter to a feather. There's a half a feather there. Oh, what else do we have here? There's a little handbag. The shoe and the handbag. Let's see what else. Here's some feathers. There's a feather. This one kind of came apart in the middle, but that was a feather. What else is in here? Oh, here's a part of a crow. Look at that. You could just cut out anything. Here's a butterfly. We can fold that in half. Let's see. Here's, this was some different, like a little haunted house and a little pumpkin. What else? Okay. Here's all the bones from the skeleton. Okay, so then let's see what else we have in here. Here's some of the birds. Let's see. Put a bird on it. Put a little birdie told me. I got 3, I think, of 3 of those. And then I got one of these kinds. These little birds. So you can see, like with like, and you can see where I've taken things out and used them. So this is just kind of my leftovers of my cameo silhouette that I really don't use that much anymore. But you can see there's still a lot in here I can use. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that was a way to store my die cuts in a binder, in sleeves. So if you are into die cutting, running them through even if you don't have one of the electronic machines, if you have one of the kind that you roll through You know what I'm talking about. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of Cricut. There's different ones that you just grind it through and make embossing folders and cut with the templates, you know, the die cutting templates. But this is a way to store your that kind of fodder. Okay. All right. And plus I have bigger, well, let me just go ahead and show you since it's right here. If I can get it out. So here's left my cutting mat. So I have my cutting mats here. You can see Janet. Don't look away, Janet. Look, here's my cutting mat. Anyway, but you can see I have all kinds of the larger ones in here. So this is like just stacks. This is stacks of larger things. There's some frogs, some butterflies. You see where I painted them. Here's some little frog. I'll cut this down. We'll do that a giveaway. So here's feathers and butterflies and all kinds of the larger that won't fit in the 8.5 by 11 sleeves. So they're like 12 by 12 sheets. Here's the skeleton with the bones, more feathers, and can cut around that maybe. We'll see. And then here's birds and deer for Christmas. So I have a whole stack of this kind of stuff. You can cut out on like here's tabs I've cut out on scrapbook paper. Birds I've cut out on scrapbook paper. We'll use those for give those stencils away. Here's a big spider web. Here's Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein or leaves. So just to show you how you can store these. So these are way too big. These are way too big to keep in a binder. So what I have them in, and it's a big thick box here. Well, there's a lot there. I'm not going to go through all this, but you get the idea. This is supposed to be about how to organize. So I have all this, the 12 by 12s in one of those Project Life boxes stacked up, and this stays right next to the binder, the 3-ring binder that I just showed you. They stay together. So if I need one or the other, they're just together. All right, let me put that away. All right. Okay, then a couple other binders that I have. This I tried. I tried to do this way, and of course I'm not going to deconstruct it because it's a good example. Let me back out one. It's a good example of another way if you don't have a ton of collage fodder or ephemera. Let's see, it's back in. That you could use 3-ring binders like in this way. All right, let me look here. You have a Sizzix big, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those, yeah, they are a workhorse, right? Right, Arlene? Let's see. Hi, Zinjit. I said hi to Devin. Let me get a sip of lemon water. They do stick together, all those all your cutouts. That's why I have some in different folders, trying to kind of keep them organized, and in sleeves. Tina, let's see. Bartender's daughter, negative space, make great stems. Exactly. That's why I keep them, Zinjin. And I'm going to put together some little packs for y'all in a little while. All right, let's see here. Oh, it's going to be... Oh, I missed something back there. Let's see. And I'll show stamps, Laverne. That's as far back as I went. There was where Laverne asked me to show stamps. Okay, yeah, this one I've had for a few years, and it's a big Mama Jamba. I think I got it at Walmart. It's called a Case It. I got it when school supply time. That's when you can get some good deals and some good cool things. Is at and this is big. This is like 14 by 4. It's big, 14 by 14 or something like that. And but it holds 8.5 by 11. You'll just see here in a minute when I open it. So it's got a zip. But anyway, so in here I tried, it's got a big thing here of pockets for Velcro warning. It's got this. Look at that. I don't use this part, but it's got, a pencil case here. I can't imagine a kid taking this to school. It also has straps. It also had a strap so you could carry it on the strap. I mean, poor kid that carried this to school would be eaten alive with grief. Anyway, so I've shown this before to you guys too, but this is a 3-ring, super deep. Let's see, it's a 2-inch ring binder, and I started trying to do it this way, and because if I wanted something really handy and really like in the moment, and every now and then I will pull this out and use it. I gotta say, I do pull this out, and the other binders I'm going to show y'all, I do pull them out occasionally and pull from them, but it's usually when I can't find them on the crate build or in my because I use my collage books now so much, right? I use my Pour Toast and my collage soup books. This was more before I had a lot of those collage soup Pour Toast books. And speaking of, I was going to do a collage. Y'all missed it when you first I said it when I first came in. I ordered Pour Toast designed a book for me at my request, not just for me, but at my request, and it was supposed to be here, but I think I might have been the first person that requested it, so they hadn't set up the printing of it, because it's a print on demand kind of thing, those books. And so it's going to be here tomorrow. So I will show I bought 2 of them. I'll show the Pour Toast book I bought Wednesday, and do a collage with those books on Wednesday. I was going to do it today, but since it didn't come in, I said, well, let's just talk about how to store all that ephemera. All right, so let me read you some of the topics here. I have these divided by watches, because y'all know I use time a lot, things, space, architecture, statues, paper, food, people. And this is good if you, there's a lot in here. Look, this is a big, thick binder. So, this works well if you're, a medium collagist. Animals, things, plants, sea. Okay, so anyway, so I'm just going to flip real quick here. So I have one here that's just a pouch in the front. Everything else is just Office Depot staples, sleeves. Okay, and I'm just going to flip through it real quick. Here, let's see. This looks a little crooked. Let's see here. Hang on. Okay. There we go. That's good. So I'm just going to flip through so you can kind of see how I store these. Sometimes I'll put a little dab of like a dab of glue stick, a dab of glue stick, and stick them in there. They have a piece of copy paper in there. There's a piece of copy paper in each sleeve, because that way you get double-sided, right? If you didn't have that paper in there, piece of copy paper in there, then it's gonna get lost in the image, and this way you have double-sided. So there's copy paper in each of these sleeves. So I'm just gonna read chat and flip. So if y'all have any questions or tips that y'all use for your collage fodder or ephemera, and if y'all missed the beginning, I've already gone over the bulk of everything that I wanted to show y'all. So I'm down to my binders now. So you can see, so there's lots of watches and because that's what I put a lot of time in my collages. There's a lot of time goes into those. Then I just got things, random things. Here's some mountains and, volcanoes and signs and just different kinds of, things. There's a lot of things that don't really fit. I could put that under transportation or something like that. This could go under transportation, Then space. So I got some, astronauts, aliens, planets. And of course, y'all know I've got whole books on this stuff now. I've got a whole book on astronauts, a whole book on space, on time, on so I gravitate toward my collage books rather than these that I've collected over time. Yes. Then we got some doors. Oh, so this is architecture. So there's doors, and of course I have my Catherine Anderson door books, window books. But I put quite a few of them in here because at the time I was using a lot of windows and doors. So I know that there's a lot in here. If I want windows and doors, I can find my Catherine Anderson windows and doors, a lot of them in here. So you can see. And a lot of these are double-sided. So the other side of the image is got the same image on it so that if you want to open the little doors or anything, the doors on both sides. So lots of doors. Then there's smaller doors and windows. Again, Catherine Anderson. If y'all love doors and windows, go to Catherine Anderson on Amazon. And she's got tons. She's probably got 10 books of different doors. And some of these are hers as well. And paths and see some of these. Look, I got a whole stack of these in here. So I got a whole bunch of pathways, doorways, good for portals, So there's just a whole pile. Like here's another. This one's got a pile of them. So these got piles, like maybe 10 different images in each little pile. All right, then we're back to some of the collage book images, more doors, pieces, parts, statues, and then this is statues. This is statues here. Paper, faux paper, and labels, and, faux recipes and stuff like that, faux patterns. And then here's food. So we got fruit, food. So if I really wanted to find something specific, I could go to these binders and look through my binders, If I couldn't imagine what collage book they might be in, then I could do this. Here's some Dick and Jane children's books. This is am I into people now? Yeah, people here. People and, parts and a lot of people. Very people-y. Thank you, Kat. So there's Catherine Anderson's books there with the windows and the doors and portal things. So lots of people here. Then animals. Chickens, roosters. Where's B? B, are you back there lurking? B sends me memes, chicken memes. And then more things. Here's some more things, like vacuums and just different things. And plants. Here's plants, flowers, trees. I do need on one of my projects, I do need a tree, but these are too small. I need a larger tree. I'll have to go dig in my books. Mushrooms, florals, all kinds of plants. And then sea, under the sea, fish, shells, coral, octopi, all kinds of under the sea stuff. big shells, little shells. Okay, so, oh, here. I did keep the covers of a couple of Catherine's books. So if you go to look for them in Hi Cat and Paste, who else am I missing? Sada Flow. These are some of her doorways and I just kept the covers off of them. When I put them in here, I kept the covers because I knew people would ask. Portals, pathways, and labyrinths. This one's not a Catherine, but this is Extraordinary Animals, and this is Extraordinary Things. And then what's this one back here? Cut out and collage. So these are just some of the covers of some of the books. And it's not by me, not all of them, but I thought to do that, I didn't think to do it with all of them. So anyway, there's that binder of collage fodder. And if y'all if you just came in and you're interested on how I do all my fodder and ephemera, then I'm going over everything, how I store it, I mean. All right, so there's that book. Then, all right, let's see, I got two more things. Hang on, let's put this back up here. Well, I'll put that back up there in a minute. It's heavy. I don't want to throw my back out. All right, then I got two more to show y'all that these might work for you. All right, so, don't fall. Wait a minute. Hang on. These are falling over. Some of my other binders are falling over. What's in this one? And what's in this one? Okay, so I got, let's see, what's this one then, maybe? No, I don't need this one. We won't do this one today. We'll do these two. Okay. So if you don't have, okay, I lost some of these, fell out. Now this can get a little tricky if you kind of have to be a little bit more careful about, okay, so did I turn this upside down? I did. I got to have it going the right way. Hang on. All right, so this kind of stuff like this, I have a lot of it in my little pouches that I showed y'all, these kind of things. Pouches like this that are up on the shelf. But if you don't have a shelf that you want to put pouches and you want to keep it contained, you can use binders. Okay, so I have these two. Which one do I want to go first? This one, it's got the, all right, let's do this one second. Okay, now how did I do this? And some of it's coming out because I just turned it upside down, which you don't want to do. I do try to remember to tape the tops after I pull something out. So if you're going to do this system, you're going to want to tape the little slots for stuff. You're going to want to tape them, Scotch tape, what do you call it? The masking tape. You're going to want to tape it because things will start falling out. If you did like I just did and turned the whole thing upside down, some fell out. But I try to remember to set it up right on my shelf because these stay on the shelves. Okay, so let's see here. Is this the way it goes? Am I upside? It is upside down. Okay. It goes this way. Okay. All right, so this is some other kind of, let me back up here. Let's back up, turn the brightness down, back up. There we go. Okay. And again, these are big 2-inch ring binders, okay? And so this is a way to store some of your accoutrement. Yes, these are like the little jewels, little jewels. I guess that's just what you call them, just the little, glue-on jewels. But I tape each thing because I don't want these flying out and falling out. Here are different, these are the thick cardstock. Maybe I need to zoom in because it does look a little far off. These are, and it's going to glare because these are on the sleeves, but we'll just have to work with it. These are the cardstock frames. They're thick and heavy, and they, so this is how I store some of this stuff. I keep some of these handy, the seed packets, the money, the little money envelopes, that kind of thing, coin envelopes. So again, these are, all right, so like this kind of stuff, and this could even go in any of these right here. but you can store them facing both ways. So you can store a few things in each one and have them facing opposite directions so that when you flip it over, you see more on the other side. These are like out of Flow and what do you call it? Daphne's Diary, you know, the paper books, the paper books that have punch outs, cutouts, these little mini postcards and stuff like that. And you punch them out, you cut them out, and you could put them in. You could put them in the plastic snap sleeves, and I do that with larger things. But a lot of these, like here's for instance the days of the year. I mean the months of the year. If I just put these in a big pouch with a whole bunch of other stuff, and then I'm gonna have to try to dig out January, February, March. You know what I'm saying? So this is a nice way to. Here's more of those frames. Okay, this is a nice, easy way. These are dimensional stickers that are thick. You know, the thick stickers that are dimensional. Which, by the way, I think I'll pull some of these out. We'll put these in some of the giveaway today. I have my little stack of giveaway piling up over there. So you can put your like frames and but you really have to tape it. Put just a little piece of tape, especially if the openings are at the tops. And these are different scrapbook sleeves over the years, and you can buy them still on Amazon. You can buy these, you know, scrapbook plastic pouches. I'm not sure what they're called. But anyway, so then here's my Tim Holtz. Let's pull a few of these for giveaway. The little Tim Holtz, what do you call these? Photo booth people. We'll pull some of these for giveaway today. And more of those. But you see how they'll slide out. So you really have to, you know, be conscious of taping them at the top. Here's more Tim Holtz people. These people, see, these fell out somewhere. They fell out of here. Here we go. My Timmy people want to run away from home. So a lot of Timmy people, but you see how you can organize it like this. And that way, when you want to find something specific, it's easy to do in this system. Here's a whole bunch more frames. These are paper frames. Let's see here. We'll pull some paper frames for the giveaway here. I'll pull some of these. I'm just making a little pile over here. But I have everything taped shut. It's not hard to untape it. And if you use masking tape, you can peel it right up. Look, here's some different rulers. Janet, I think Janet's got these. I think I've sent her these before. But there's little rulers, these are off these little deco stickers. They're like translucent stickers. You can get these on Amazon. And little tickets. And they're called deco. If you look up deco stickers, they're like the transparent kind of washi tape-esque type of stickers. And they come in these little pouches. So I put the pouches in there. I left the pouches in there. Postcard stuff, more postcard kind of ephemera. So you can see how these fell out right from here. See, I need a little piece of tape right there. Just grab a piece of tape. Just a little piece. That's all. Just to kind of hold them in. And then here's these little mini books. These little mini, what do you call it? Let's open. Here we go. They're little, like vellum. We'll pull one of these out too. These are called letters. They're little vellum books, and they come in little stacks of books. I'll pull some of those for giveaway. Okay, and then I just keep it taped so they don't get away from me. Here's little lacy frames. So you can see this is just a way to keep your ephemera. This folded over. This is a way to keep your ephemera in semi. You can see a few things have slipped out because I pulled the book off the shelf and set it here and turned it upside down. So some of them have slipped out here though. These are more the Tim Holtz post photographs, you know, So yeah, so you can store. Here's clear stickers, and so anyway, this is just a way to store your ephemera. But I have to say again, put a little piece of tape at the top of each pouch or pocket because they will slide out because it's so slippery. And then I just have some different, here's some of the like flow book and that kind of stuff out of those magazines. So, yeah. Just make sure you keep it standing up so that things don't get away from you. So this is another way. And again, I'm showing you multiple ways and different things that I've tried over the years, still use sometimes, use a little bit here, a little bit there, but I wanted to show y'all options. So if you like collage, ephemera, and fodder, you have options, whether it's, flipping through bins, notebooks, pouches, the sleeves, whatever it is that you do. Okay, so some of these fell out on the shelf. So I'm going to grab whatever fell out on the shelf. We're going to put those in a giveaway. Okay, then I have one more that's kind of not, some of my Timmy people got away. So we'll do Timmy people fell on the floor. So we'll put some of this in the giveaways too. All right. Got a little pile going over there. And what's in this one? I can't remember here. This one's got, all right, so this one's kind of another start for one because there's not, the other one's full. And after they get full, so this has got some of the washi tapes that I've kept. I got rid of a lot of washi tape. I gave them to Denise and to Julie. And so these are some of the ones that I still have. But a lot of times I go, I forgot what washi tape is that. So I put some of my favorite washi tape strips in here so I can flip through and go, I forgot I have that one. Then I can go over and find the roll. But I got rid of a tub, 4-inch deep, 14 by 14 tub about this deep, full of washi tape. I gave them to Denise and Jules, and I still have almost as many. But these are some of my favorite ones, and I just put them down in here so I can flip through and remember what washi tapes I have. And I can still use these. I can still peel these off. It's just on the the plastic sleeve. But this way I can remember what washi tapes I have that I really like, that I want to use, that I forget to use. So I made my own like washi swatch, if you will. It's not all of them. It's not all of them, but it's some of my favorites. Then these are my most recent purchases of ephemera from Amazon, and I got them before Christmas. But we've played with these, looked at these, and I've done giveaways with them. The Egyptian one. So this is from the Egyptian pack, and it's called a scrapbook pack on Amazon. And so if you look up scrapbook pack Egypt, scrapbook pack, and they're themed. And so this is my Egyptian stuff. This one was I don't know, garden or flower. I forget what it was, but then I got this pack. I think I bought 3 or 4 packs. And that's all I put in here. And then I've got plenty of room for more. So this is my newest one to put this kind of stuff in and have it easily accessible. All right, so there's all my binders, and I'm going to show today. I have other binders for other uses, but there's that. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'll show my stamp, how I store my stamps real quick. Then we'll put together a giveaway. Hang on. Let me do a BRB. All right, I'll be right back. Okay. All right, looking around, seeing if I forgot anything. I showed that. Okay, let's do that. Am I forgetting anything that I told y'all I would show you? Let me see. Other than the stamps. All right, let me read chat for just a second. All right, let me scroll through chat. Take a bite of my Fig Newton and my lemon water while I scroll back. So hang on. I hate this mouse that falls asleep. Why does a mouse fall asleep? Never had one that goes to sleep. All right, let's see. Scrolling back, let's see. Oh, thanks. Yeah. If y'all are not following Ginger Cat Lady, she is reorganizing a room. Now, mine's already organized, so I don't have to worry about that. But let me swallow my Fig Newton first, because y'all know I'll choke myself. But Ginger Cat Lady has been doing a complete redo in her room. And I don't envy her because it's a lot. But she does it overnight. So if y'all wake up in the middle of the night and just want to go watch somebody organize, Pam's working on it. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? I've been showing all kinds of things, Pam. Maybe might help you when you get to that point. Right now, she's got the big room to do before she gets down to too much little stuff. Let's see. Binders work best for you? They worked for me for a while until I started getting Collage Soup and Pour Toast books. Now, let's see if I can get a picture of this. Hang on. Hang on. All right. I'll show you how I store my Collage Soup books. Let me move this out of the way here. Okay. Hang on. Camera. And see if I can get over here in this corner. All right. All right, let me get to the photos here. Hang on. So how I store my Collage Soup and Pour Toast books that are in those sleeves, in the plastic sleeves. Okay, let's see. Let's turn this sideways. So I have this table and one right behind me that's the same size. And under the table behind me are my Collage Soup books. Here are my Collage Soup books. And that they're all lined up. Most of them, there's a couple that are not in sleeves, but they're in sleeves. And then my Pour Toast books and other collage ephemera is in this corner. And then there's my jelly plate cart, my jelly plate cart. But right there, this is all Pour Toast and other collage books. But it's very organized. It's very organized over there. And then on this side, and I've shown y'all this before. Let me take a picture real quick here of this corner right here, or this. I got to lighten this up because this one's facing the window, so I got to brighten that up there. Okay, so then I showed y'all the my table here. I showed y'all my build there, and I showed you the what do you call it over there? The crates, the wood crates are over there. Here's the wood crates. Here's the to my side over here is the wood crates, and then right in front of me is, it won't turn. There it goes. Right in front of me when I sit here, there's my pencil, marker, craft paints are all along the bottom down. There's my pencil build. And then to the left of me under the window you can see my big studio light there. Here are my pencil cases and my sticker books down there. And then these are paints that I use when I'm jelly plating and other paints in there. So there's my pencil cases. So everything's like with like. And again, don't judge me. I've been in this room for 25 years. And if I was not a YouTuber, I probably wouldn't have a lot of this stuff because I buy a lot of stuff to help y'all, show y'all. See, I can blame it on y'all. I just blame it on y'all. It's because of y'all that I buy this stuff. Just kidding, guys. Don't email me. All right, let me get some envelopes here. So to do a giveaway here. Well, I enable a little bit, but but it is organized. Okay, well, good, Pam. That's good to hear. What you getting there? Let's see. Scroll. Oh, I gotta show before I do this, we'll show the stamps, how I organize my stamps. Hang on. Thank you, Devin. If y'all want to see a room that's stunning, not just organized, but beautiful, that would be Devin's. Devin's room is really pretty. Mine's not pretty. It's functional, but Devin's is really pretty. So y'all need to go look at her room. She's got a video on it. Okay, so my stamps. I have a couple of different things for stamps. I keep on my shelf over here behind me. I have, and I'm not going to pull them all. I'm just going to show you a few of them. I have trays of alphabets, and I have little ammo cases of alphabets. So these little mini alphabets, they fit in these. I got a whole bunch of these, and I have a whole bunch of trays like this. These are all my alphabets. Okay, I'm not going to pull all these out to show y'all know what alphabets look like, but this is how I store alphabets. This is a cigar tray that you can get at a cigar store. It has cigars in it. And I mean, I don't, but you can get the trays and store alphabets in it. And these little ammo cases like this, you can get Walmart, anywhere for about $2. And they're just perfect for storing little alphabets in them. So I have a whole bunch of those, and I'm not going to pull all those to the table because that's what they look like now. Then I have, so that's my alphabets. But then I have a couple of these. Let me just show y'all here. I might have to back out. Well, maybe. Let's see. Am I backed out all the way? Let's see. Okay. Hang on. So I organized all my stamps one year. It's been a few years. But I organized all my stamps. So now all my stamps are in 3 containers, other than the alphabets that I showed you. Okay. The alphabets are their own shelf. They have their own shelf. So what I've got here is I put them, they're the plastic ones like the acrylic ones. They're on their little sleeves, and I can flip. I can just flip. See? Like this. Like here's pull a few here. My Tim Holtz or Stampers Anonymous ones. Like this. So that I'm a flipper, not a piler. I don't like piles. I like to be able to flip, whether it's on a shelf, whether it's on the floor, wherever it is. I like to be able to flip through things. It's just the way I like things. So this is one of the ways. I have a few of here's my hand carved bats. They really need to go in this other thing in a minute. So then I keep all my acrylic blocks right here because these are all acrylic stamps. If I need a block, they're all right here in the front. So this is one of the little bins, these little bins here. Okay. Then I have the ones that are on. These are unmounted wood stamps. So years ago, I unmounted all of my wood stamps. And there's some acrylic ones in here too. But these are all in sleeves. And if you see the red rubber, those used to be on blocks. So these are all in sleeves. And I can just flip. So this is how I store my stamps in just those office sleeves, office, 3-ring binder, page protectors. They're all in page protectors. Okay, so those are my 2 bins of stamps. Now, for the other kind of stamps, hang on, let me put this back up on here. Like hand carved stamps. Okay, let me adjust this again. It got a little bumped. Okay, so then the other way I store my stamps is in one of these. These are all my hand carved and other kind of. So y'all can see I have a lot of hand carved stamps over the years. All just, and I'm not going to go through these now because I don't want this to be a stamp show. It's just, I wanted y'all to see that some of the small ones here, and, just different odd ones, just some odd ones here, plus all my hand carved ones. They're all in this big bin. So you can see there's a lot in there. So that's how I store the other stamps that aren't in sleeves. Okay, then there was one other thing I was going to show you. Now I can't remember what it was. I don't remember. If I can remember, I'll show it to you when I think of it. Okay, Malibu, you're going to have to move because I'm getting ready to do a giveaway. So you're going to have to go over here on your little bed I made you. There you go. All right. So there was something else, but I'm not remembering. So, oh, Malibu, Mama needs some space, honey. I need some space for the giveaway. I know. All right, you can stay for a minute while I finish looking at. Yeah, put it in caps if you're talking to me. Let's see, who am I missing? Am I missing somebody? How do you take stamps off blocks? You can put them in the microwave for about two or 3 seconds. Put them in the microwave test your microwave, test one, and but it only takes like about click, 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 and that's done. It melts the glue, and then you just peel it off the block. Okay, and then you can put it on in plastic sleeves or on a cardstock. But don't just restick it. Don't restick it. I mean, let the glue, don't just slap it on something that's going to, then you're going to have to stick it up, peel off of that. Let's see. Yes, Janet, well, you could show your stamps today on your stream or pictures. Go take pictures, Janet, and get ready. You think I got a lot of stamps? Janet has even been published in Rubber Stamp Madness. So Janet's been into stamping. Well, we've both been in stamping a long time, but yeah, Janet has a gazillion stamps. Let's see. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Tina. Where'd it go? Did I miss anything else? She asked. Please put your, let's see. Little, yes, cat herding. Oh my gosh. Who did I send the cat herding? I sent it to Tina, and I gotta show this to y'all. I can't play the sound, but I sent this to Tina and Cheshire Cat on Instagram. Let's see if I can bring it up. Let's see here. Go this way. Oh, Artie liked my message. If y'all, well, I'll get to that in a second. Let me show this first. Okay, let me go to this first. Where is it? Here it is. This was a commercial that was shown years ago at the Super Bowl. Can't show you I'll show it to you, but I'm not going to play the sound. But it talks about these cowboys that, and y'all know when we're doing giveaways and we're doing herding cats, because it's so hard to get everybody together on the, not anymore, because everybody's pretty, knows what to do on the giveaways. But I'm going to show y'all this.
This man right here is my great-grandfather. He's the first cat herder in our family.
All right, now I'm going to mute it. Wait a minute. Come on. Wait a minute. It's not mute. Okay, there we go. So they're cat herding cowboys. If you just go look at cat herding Super Bowl commercial on Instagram, it'll come up. It's frozen for me. It froze. Let's see if I can get it to. Yeah, it froze. But anyway, these cowboys are herding cats. And that's what I sent to Tina and Cheshire. So when we do giveaways, it's cat herding. Okay, anyway. Uh, oh my gosh. So y'all go look for that on Instagram. It's hilarious. Let's see. All right. Uh, well, then you need to go find that cat and paste. Well, let me see here. I'll send it to you. Let me find you here. Where are you? Where are you? Cat and paste. Okay, I sent it to you, cat and paste. All right, so let's see. I got my little notes here to see if I told y'all everything. The three rings, the wood crates, boxes of scraps, the plastic pouches, the sticker books, the desk journal. I think I showed y'all everything as far as how I store my collage, fodder, and ephemera, and other little tips and things on the side. I didn't show you how I store everything, like my journals, but I've shown you all that before. How I store my journals, my abandoned books, my art books aren't even in here. My color books are not even in this room. Color books have their own shelves. Art books have their own room. So, yeah. All right, let's see here. All right, show the stamps. Let's do this. All right, let's see what we can put together. Before we do anything, let's put the four little things together. 2 US, 2 international. So I pulled things throughout the morning. So let's go ahead and see about that. So we got Timmy people. I just this random stuff. Okay, everybody's gonna get a what do you call it? A photo booth person. Okay, let's see if I can get this like this around. Let's just work around Malibu. I know, and she's just a purring. Can y'all hear her? Anyway, all right. So let's give y'all some Timmy people. Let's give y'all each like 3 little people here, and I'll put some postcards, blank postcards in, so y'all can make some postcards. Okay, let's see. There's 3 there. Okay, let's get some postcards here. Give y'all a brown one and a white one. They're just 4x6 cardstock. Y'all can make your own postcards with. Okay. All right, now let's see what else did I have over here. All right, I have these little vellum letters. Let's tear y'all out some of those. This should tear right out. Let's give y'all each 3 of those. I love using this stuff, but I know I'll never use it all, so I'll share it with y'all. You know what I mean, Vern? And so you can't see it on the brown. There we go. Let's put it on the white so you can see it. All right, Malibu, gonna have to scrunch up. So I buy it and I use it, I use quite a bit, but I'm never going to use it all. Hi, Kathy Bird. Are you streaming tomorrow? Kathy, are you streaming tomorrow? She didn't stream last week. I'm picking the cat. She ain't going nowhere. She's my little baby. Yeah. All right. So, but if y'all get a white hair in any of your giveaways, and if you're allergic to cats, y'all know I got cats. Just saying. All right, then we have these little frames. All right, I'll get her down. Let's get her down. There we go, baby. Okay, All right, then I got some of these frames. She has a bed right behind me, a blanket, a big fluffy blanket right on the floor. All right, so then these are kind of embossed. These are really cool. Look, they're embossed little frames, and I got them in a set of something. So there's those, and then there's these embossed ones that have butterflies all around. So we got those. Then we got some of the little square frames. All right, I can zoom back in now that the cat's gone. There we go. So we got some, let's put one of those, one of these. Okay, so look at this one. This one is so cute. Look at that with the little deer and the little, right? Okay, we'll put some of those. See what happens when I go through my stuff? Then, y'all know, we went through some of the, oh wait, here's some of these butterflies. I wanted to put some of these in here. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. I think I can give everybody 2. These are dimensional butterflies. I'll put them in between the postcards so that that kind of flattens them out and they don't move around, but they're like dimensional butterflies. All right, so there's 2 for that one. 2 for this one. Two over here. And 2 over here. There we go. They're in between 2 postcards, so that shouldn't be flattened them out. All right, then whatever kind of little cutouts, die cuts that I have left over here from that I showed earlier. Let's see. Timholtz people are taking over my desk. Here's a feather. Okay, I'm gonna I'll have to bend the end of the feather, but there's a feather die cut. Here's a little birdie told me. It's caught on something. There we go. Got the little me in there. You can punch out the me. A little birdie told me. Here's a butterfly. I'm going to fold that in half. Die cut butterfly. And then I'll cut out one. Let's see if I can do this. If I can cut out these silhouette birds. Let's see if I can do this. Let me see here. And give everybody a silhouette bird that you could put on your postcard and make something with. Just saying. All right, let's go over here. Some of them are real close together, so I'm trying to like cut in between to make okay, this one here. Thanks everybody for being here. Hang out if you're a lurker. You can play too. This one. And one more. Here we go. All right, there we go. All right, everybody gets a bird and some butterflies and some other stuff. What else? Oh, the frogs. I have the frogs over here. Hang on. Okay, that last piece away. All right, let's see here. Oh, I was going to give everybody a coffee mug. Look. This was cut out on the Cameo silhouette some years ago. I think didn't I say I had 4 of those? I do have 4. Here, there's 1, 2, 3. These are very fragile. This one's got a little bit of a bend in the arm, in the thing there. Because I only had 4 of these, so I pulled the last 4 I had of those. Then, what else I didn't find enough coffee mugs. What else did I find? I got these frogs here. I think I got 4 of those. There's 3 frogs in each one, so I can cut these down. Hang on, guys. These frogs. Frog stencils. All right, let me scroll. My chat froze, I think. Hi, Tundra. Who else is here? I said hi to Flo. I'm just scrolling through. I know. She's a sweetie. All right, I'm scrolling because my chat had froze for a second. Let's see. Thank you. Thanks. Hi, Ann Makes. Okay, so I think that'll fit. Will that fit? I might have to cut these down a little. Might have to cut these down to get them to fit in the envelope. Is that going to fit? Yeah. Okay. Okay, is that going to fit? Let's cut it down just a little bit more. Okay. So yeah, I organize and do giveaways. All right, so there we go. I'll keep this feather because I don't have 4 of them here. So let me just kind of cut them down for something else later. Just so they're smaller so I can put them away in a minute. All right, there we go. Okay. Picking up. All right. All right, let's put them in their envelopes. So I hope y'all saw everything we got here. Nice little collage pack with a couple of postcards for y'all to build on. I'm not looking at chat. Hang on just a second. Let me get these together. We'll do our giveaway. Then we'll probably head out. I missed. Is Kathy streaming tomorrow? Oh, thanks, Terry. Is Kathy streaming tomorrow? Did anybody catch whether she is? She didn't stream last week, but Kathy Berg streams on Tuesdays at 10 Eastern. But she didn't feel well last weekend, so she didn't stream last weekend. So, okay, there she is. All right, yes, I will be streaming. Okay. All right, so there we go. So let me get my iPad and get random.org up. And y'all know how it works. We do 2 US, 2 international. I think we started with international the last couple times, so we'll start with US. Okay, so USA only. You're going to put in a number between 1 and 100. Wait till I type in go. When I type in go, USA only, put in a number between 1 and 100. First 2 people closest to random.org, which I'm going to bring up here in just a second. Random. Oh, that's not what I want. I don't want any. No, I don't want that. Hang on, I got to get rid of some stuff on my iPad. There we go. Random. Okay, there we go. Come on, random. All right. Random.org. And there's our little number generator. Okay. When I type in go, put in a number between 1 and 100. We're going to do USA only to start, and then we'll do the same thing again with international. Okay. All right. Well, I type in go. Okay. All right. There you go. There we go. USA only. Then we'll do international. I've got to fix this. My mat. I tell y'all, I talked about it earlier. This mat that I got under my new chair, to unroll it was like a nightmare. I mean, you don't even know. Oh, okay. And I showed my picture of my new chair earlier. I'll show it again while we're waiting. Let me see. I got a new chair. Hubster took my other one. Photos. So here's my new chair. And the footrest folds up under and tucks up under the chair. So I don't have the footrest out right now. It just flips and folds up under the chair. So there's my new cat hair on there. There's my new another cat hair on there. There's my new chair. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all ready? I'm going to count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't dilly dally dawdle or lollygag. 1. Hit your enter if you haven't hit the enter. Hit it now, because once the stop goes in, anything after the stop, you're out. Okay, there we go. All right, let me bring my iPad back up. First two people closest to 54 without going over. USA only. Then we're going to do international. 54 without going over. All right, and my mods and everybody will help me. I'll scroll back. 54 without going over. Okay, let's see what we got here. Terry Bauer had 47. I'm looking, I'm scrolling. I'm looking in the 40s because nobody got 50s. All right, what numbers did they have, Vale? She said Zinjin and Brooke. What numbers did they have? 53. Okay, so Zinjin had 53. Zinjin had 53. Okay, and then who was the other one? Brooke L had 52. Okay, there we go. You had 52. All right, there we go. So you two winners. Winner, chicken dinner. All right, now we're going to do the exact same thing for international. Wait till I type in go. Don't put any numbers. Oh, thanks, Devin. It is comfy. I sit in, it goes very padded and puffy, you know. Okay, international only. Wait till I type in go. Same rules apply. The only thing is you have to send me your address. I don't share it with anybody. I don't put you on an email list. Not that there's anything wrong with the email list. I just don't have one to put you on. So I don't do that. So when I don't share my your information with anybody, not even my other mods. So okay, there we go. Let me put in go. Hang on. Let it hit there. There we go. Okay. International only. I mean, yeah, international. I lost track of where I was. International only. And then we'll do some more. We'll do another we'll pick another number. I'm gonna pick up these leftover die cuts and stuff here. I try to pick up as I go, and that's how I work too. Oh, I pick up as I go. All right, get your numbers in. Yeah, thank you, Kat. I forgot to say that to hold chat while we're doing this. Oh, no, I'll have to show y'all. Well, I'll show you after we do the chat because somebody will say something and then it's going to interrupt and Kat's going to yell at me. She's not going to yell at me. All right, get your numbers in. I'm going to count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, new number. Let me bring up. Hang on. All right, new number 73. First two people closest to 73 without going over. Let me scroll back. 73 without going over. Let's see. Dot had 68. I think Dot will be one with 68. And Karen Evans was 66. Is it Karen Evans and Dot? Y'all tell me, is it Karen Evans and Dot are the two? Karen Evans and Dot. I think Dot had 68 and Karen Evans had 66. Oh, no, that's over, Vale. Vale, it's without going over. 74 is over. Did she have 73? Somebody said Hard House had 73. And then they said she had 74. Okay, let me scroll back. Okay, Hard House has 73. Okay, Hard House has 73. And who was the other person? Let me scroll down. And Dot, who had 69 first? Was it Dot or Joanne? Which one had it first? That's all right, Vale. I just have to get it right. Which one had it first? Dot or Joanne? They both had 69. I saw Dot, but y'all look too, my mods and everybody. Dot. Okay, so Dot. Okay, so Dot had it first. Oh, Joanne had it first. Well, which one is it? Y'all are gonna have to tell me. Dot had 68. Someone's saying, all right, let's scroll all the way back. Scrolling all the way back. I'm looking again. This is why it's called herding cats. Joanne had 69. Joanne had 69. So I think it's Joanne with 69. Joanne had 69. Okay. Had 69. There we go. Are we correct now? Oh, you got some happy mail, Carol? Good. All right. Am I correct now? Is everybody good? Joanne was 69 and Hard House was 73. We need some cowboys. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Hard House and Joanne. I have all y'all's addresses. So we're good there. We're good there. All right. So I guess we will head out. Let me see. Is there anything else here I need to show and tell? Or do we do everything? Oh, this is what I wanted to show y'all. I sent you your new address in the email. Okay, let me write that down, Zinjin. Zinjin, new Addie. Okay, I made a note of that to look for that, Zinjin. Thank you. Okay, let's put that over there on Zinjin. All right, so Hubster sent. I showed y'all a picture. Hubster sent me, and we don't do flowers much in the house because of cats. But he got me these flowers, and hang on, let me get. Oh, you're welcome, Ellen. So he sent me some, or got me some flowers, and he said, and I thought of you. You needed this first off. He said you needed a cup to drink out of during streams. I said, oh, okay. What'd you get me? Because this is what I usually drink out of, right? This right here, my lemon water. I usually drink out of this big, giant cup. Look what he got me for Valentine's Day. I said, gee, honey, thanks. Oh my gosh. Oh, so anyway, he's a hoot. So he brought me that home for Valentine's Day. All right, guys, we'll head on out. And again, I'm hoping I get my Poor Toast books tomorrow. So we'll do a collage on Wednesday. So I hope this helped you guys see how all the different ways you can organize your fodder, your ephemera, collage, mixed media, and, just stuff. How you can organize it and what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me over the years. And a lot of that's going to depend on how much you do of it, right? So if you miss the beginning, go back and watch it later. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Don't forget, Janet comes on at 1 Eastern. She comes on at 1 Eastern. If I saw her right here, I'd click on her name, but I'm not seeing her right here in front of me. But Janet comes on at 1 Eastern, and she'll have something fun to do, I'm sure. All right, guys. See y'all later. Bye.